Nigel Farage has bashed the agreement that Britain struck as part of its Brexit bill, which will see the country continue to pay into Brussels for another 46 years. On his LBC show this morning, the MEP argued that the EU should be the one to hand over money instead of Britain, due to the huge trade deficit between the two. powersThe LBC radio host spoke to a caller, Richard, who complained that the media and politicians had failed to question the details of the cash handover. LBCFarage has bashed the agreement that Britain struck as part of its Brexit bill. Richard said, "They are talking about a 2-year transition period, but I read in the news the other week, and I haven't heard it discussed by anyone, that British payment into EU coffers will last until 2064. Mr. Farage confirmed the arrangement, which came to light earlier this week in Phillip Hammond's spring statement. According to the Office of Budget Responsibility, Britain could be paying off the Brexit divorce bill until 2064. The reason behind the decades of payments is because pensions for EU staff working now could see the UK pay Brussels nearly half a century after voting to leave. The former UKIP leader blasted the deal struck between British negotiators and Brussels for making little economic sense. LBCTHE MEP argued that the EU should be the one to hand over money. I expect they should be paying us for access to our market. Nigel Farage, he said, 75% of the £40 billion so-called leaving bill, not sure why there is one at all, but that will be paid in the first 3 to 5 years. After that we will go on paying a sum of money for access to their markets. Given the amount of German motorcars, I expect they should be paying us for access to our market." The leading Brexiteer cited the huge trade deficit in Britain's favour in its relationship with the EU, and urged the British government to exploit this advantage more often. Following news of the huge payouts, Eloise Todd, chief of anti-Brexit campaigners Best for Britain, said, "We already knew the cost would fall on our children and grandchildren. Now we're told even our great-grandchildren will have a bill to pay." Pro-Brexit Tory MP Nigel Evans said he would rather the divorce bill was paid in one swift go.